lost to Super Bowl 50 back in February of 2016. There's a look at the home of the 49ers, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Levi's Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was deafening. They're set for football as the 49ers get ready to do battle with the Arizona Cardinals. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Here's Lance to throw it. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle, and it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So, CD, you talk about this football team, some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hint at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely, but that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that, talk. I mean, guys often say, that's it, I'm out of here, and then they realize, I'm not ready to retire yet. What am I going to do now? And they're really ready to come back and dive back in. In fact, we've got guys who are wearing gold jackets in the Hall of Fame that talked about retirement the last 6-7 years of their careers. So that's not always real. And sometimes you just have to go ahead and ride it out. And this is an opportunity now for everyone in this locker room to move forward.
So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on fourth down. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. It's a big play there on 4th and 10.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. Checks this one down. It's Mitchell. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Well, this defense for the Cardinals, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll try the left side. Mitchell, he pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And Lance going to throw. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. That's Samuel, caught left side. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Moore now to return. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Off play action. Murray steps away to his left. Murray has the 1st down and more. And Murray with a smart move there at the end of the play. Picks up the 1st down and then slides to the ground. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. Now remember, these two teams met in Glendale earlier in the season with the Cards coming out on top. So a win here in Santa Clara would give them the season series. From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down and 6. On play action, it's Murray. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And that last throw right there putting him already over 3,000 passing yards now for the campaign.
And given where we are in the season, Brandon, you have to think to yourself, if he stays healthy, I think 4,000's a given. I think 5,000 is not out of the question if he stays hot.
Play action. Now it's Murray. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. He's going to look deep for more. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Rondale Moore. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game. Prater for the extra point. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
4 yards remain for 2nd down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now a play fake. Lance rolling to his right. And he slings one that's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
He'll dump that one off to Mitchell. And he is going to have a Niners first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
On first down, Mitchell. And he stopped immediately there. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down. 7-7, our score after 1.
The score time, 7-7.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Lance. This will be caught. It's Samuel. But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They'll run on first down. It's Mitchell. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Lance. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. Mitchell. And boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
Here we go on 4th down. And this winds up a disaster nowhere near the marker. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Cardinal defense comes up with a goal line stand. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a first or a second seed come playoff time.
On first down, Mitchell. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Throwing now is Lance. That'll be taken in by Damiere Byrd. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Now Lance. And here's Mitchell with a catch out of the backfield. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 63 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Back-to-back gains of 17, and they are really on the march now. It's a first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple. Lance, a quick throw out wide, complete. Touchdown! Deebo Samuel with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold with the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And Murray with a smart move there at the end of the play. Picks up the first down and then slides to the ground.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. He targets Jordan Matthews, and it's caught. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Murray now to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like the plan is to do the attacking and not wait to see what they present to them.
Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Play fake. Murray. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. A final shot before half for Murray. He's going to look deep for more. And this is caught. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It'll be the Cardinals who get the ball first. They trail here as we resume action in the third quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
On 2nd and inches, Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. And they'll get it out just short of the 45 at the 44. Murray now on first down. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10, right at the 40. Now Murray off play action. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
To throw again on 2nd down. Murray eluding the pressure right. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Flush to his right. But nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
They'll run on first down. Muhammad. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Escaping the pressure right, and he'll just get rid of it.
But the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. From the gun, Murray. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point. That's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
On first down, Mitchell. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Lance. And he will find his man, Samuel. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
98 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Flushed out right. It's caught. Mitchell. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
On 3rd down. It's Mitchell, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, you had an offense working with a comfortable 2-score lead here in the third quarter and certainly doesn't feel as comfortable now following the turnover.
Yeah, you're right about that because now the nerves start to come into play a little bit. You're a little bit jangled. You don't want to give your opponents any avenues to get back into the game. What you'd rather do, put up signs that say, roads closed.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
He's going deep for Brown.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked by Emmanuel Mosley.
And the 49ers are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, he's got one of the strongest arms in the league. Some people may say the strongest, but that can also have a downside occasionally, and here he's intercepted.
Yeah, when we talk about strong arms, being able to throw it deep downfield doesn't necessarily take the strongest. It takes more of the timing type of a quarterback. And it's great to be able to take your shot, but when it hangs up there just a bit too long, you put it in jeopardy. And in this case, that was intercepted.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Mitchell, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 8 coming up. And now they'll throw with Lance. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Zaven Collins charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the rookie first-rounder, Jamin Davis. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. We're holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half. Those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. The 2 F's for a rookie quarterback.
Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A big connection on that one. 34 yards. Murray going to throw. caught on the slant. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. A great job there, Charles, just to hold on, absorb that contact. I guess that's the risk you take catching the ball toward the middle of the field.
It is, and if you're going to gain yardage, you're going to have to go there at some point. But how about the read, okay? The eyes of that play, stepping out from the middle of the field, and really...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Flush to his right. And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And the Niners are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. He got out of the pocket there, was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And Lance's throw pulled in by Kittle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
They will get 4 yards here on the 1st down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Dancing to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And they'll go for it. Lance escaping the pressure right. And Lance will have the 1st down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact there at the end of the play. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 120 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll run on first down. Mitchell. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. They'll try the left side. Mitchell. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Victory here for San Francisco. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the 49ers, they climb to 6-2 on the year as they close in on the midpoint of this 17-game schedule.
And they'll have another home date next week as the LA Rams come to town. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, it's just their second loss so far to go.